Many of us are vitamin deficient, and that's the reason why I've decided to include a segment on nutrition in every episode. Because I don't want to just teach you how to cook. I also want to teach you how to eat in hopes that you'll develop a better relationship with food, because we really truly are what we eat, okay? So let's talk about vitamins A and B, okay? Vitamin A functions. Number one, it keeps our eyes healthy. Number two, it promotes healthy skin. Now, let me pause on that real quick. I want to talk to the ladies specifically. Ladies, okay, a great makeup look begins with great skincare. And great skincare begins with a healthy diet. I have seen those YouTube videos, the tutorials where you just cake on makeup to the point where by the time you're done, you look like a completely different person. A concealer is designed to conceal those imperfections. But guess what? If you have a healthy diet, if you take care of your skin, you don't have to conceal so much, okay? Makeup is designed to enhance. It's not designed to make us look like a completely different person, okay? So be sure to include lots of vitamin A, fruits and vegetables in your diet. I'm gonna tell you exactly what those items are, okay? The next function of vitamin A is it supports reproduction and growth. So where do we get those vitamins? Okay, so vitamin A, you can get it from any red, yellow, or orange food plants like your tomatoes, sweet potatoes, and carrots. You can also get vitamin A in items like your liver, in milk products, as well as eggs, okay? Now, to those of us who eat strictly egg whites, I want you to be mindful that when you throw away the egg yolk, you also throw away the vitamin A, okay? All right. Let's talk about vitamin B. Vitamin B is a little bit more complex because there are 8 of them and we need all 8. For example, vitamin B1 is riboflavin, B2 is niacin, B7 is biotin, which, by the way, ladies, biotin is really good for our nails and our hair. So that means there's no need for Gorilla Glue. It's on me. Oh, Lord have mercy. Anyway, B9 is folate, okay, which is good for the reproduction of red blood cells. Now, this is not a nutrition course, and I'm not going to go into depth with this one, but just be sure to take your vitamin B complex. And the reason why they call it complex is because there are 8 of them, okay? What are the functions of vitamin B in the body? Number one, muscle tone. Number two, it gives us lots and lots of energy. It gives us good eyesight. That's number 3, just like vitamin A. Number 4, it promotes a healthy appetite as well as brain function. Where do we get vitamin B? What are the food sources? Dairy products, seafood, whole grains, beans, nuts, chicken, any dark leafy vegetables such as your spinach, kale, collard greens, as well as watercress. Now, just a side note, watercress is a very popular item that we use in Haitian cuisine, in legumes, and I'll get to that, okay? A little bit later on this channel. I'm gonna introduce you to our traditional Haitian dishes, and one of our staples in Haiti is legumes. It's absolutely wonderful. All right, so let's recap, okay? Vitamin A keeps our eyes and skin healthy, and it prevents night blindness. A fun way to remember vitamin A is when you cut up a carrot, okay? When you look at it closely, you can see the shape of the iris, okay? Which is the colored part of the eye. So just remember vitamin A, carrots, which is good for the eyesight. Now, when you think of vitamin B, think about your appetite, brain function, strong nails, and strong hair, okay? We have a proverb in Haitian Creole that says, "So pa kone, pi gran pa so." And it really is true. So now you know vitamins A and B. All right, so post your comments and questions below and let me hear from you, okay? Have you ever wondered where Creole cuisine or la cuisine Creole comes from? Creole cuisine is defined as a combination of French, Spanish, and African cuisine. The most popular Creole dishes we know today are gumbo and red beans and rice. which of course happens to be Popeye's famous side dish. Now, when we think about African slaves who were heavily influenced by the French and by the Spanish, we think about the Haitian people, my people, peuple haïtien. So, how did Creole cuisine make its way to Louisiana? Well, I want you to know today that if there was no Haitian Revolution, there would not have been what we know today as the Louisiana Purchase. And unfortunately, American history books barely mention Haiti when they explain the business deal that Thomas Jefferson made with the French after the Haitian Revolution. So let me give it to you. Here's the tea. Now, before I tell you about Haiti and how rich we were, I want you to remember the following three names: Napoleon Bonaparte, Toussaint Louverture, and Thomas Jefferson. I have them from left to right. Napoleon was a French military leader. Toussaint Louverture was a Haitian military general, a free man. And Thomas Jefferson was the third president of the United States. He was also one of the founding fathers, and unlike the former guy, Trump, he served 2 terms between 1801 and 1809. At that time, France was the landlord of all of the states you see here on this map in the brown, including Louisiana, Wyoming, North and South Dakota, Missouri, Arkansas, Montana, and Colorado. Now, at that time, Haiti was a gold mine for France. The island was producing most of the world's coffee and sugar, and Napoleon had envisioned Haiti as the jewel of his new empire in the Caribbean. Now, here comes the hero, a Spartacus among the Haitians, our version of Dr. King, Military General Toussaint Louverture. During the French Revolution between 1789 and 1799, the Haitian slaves led by Louverture rebelled in a bloody and successful battle for independence known as the Haitian Revolution, La Révolution Haïtienne. And do you know that American history books whitewash this all-important slave revolt as, and I quote, the French's failure to conquer the island? So now France started freaking out because Haiti, as I just mentioned, was a gold mine, and without their control of the island, with all of the coffee and sugar that it was producing, pretty much putting money in their pockets, Louisiana and all of these states in the Midwest were of very little value and of very little use to Napoleon. So what did he do? When the U.S. Congress passed resolutions threatening an American attack on New Orleans, Napoleon realized that he was going to have to fight to keep the land. And with the war happening in England at that time, he felt that he had better use of his army over there back in Europe. And plus, for diplomatic reasons, he also wanted to keep his relationship with the U.S. neutral. Just like our boy over in France does today, Emmanuel Macron, the president of France. So Napoleon ended up accepting $15 million from Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States. And this real estate sale, known as the Louisiana Purchase, doubled the size of these United States thanks to the Haitian Revolution. So let's talk about the food. After the Haitian Revolution, thousands of whites and free blacks fled to New Orleans, doubling the size of the city's population in just a few months. The Haitians brought with them the spices, the food, the music, the architecture, the culture, all of it. In Haiti, we have what we call Carnaval, In New Orleans, we have Mardi Gras, or Mardi Gras, the way you say in English, which translates as Fat Tuesday. Same thing. And both countries celebrate Mardi Gras the Tuesday before Ash Wednesday. In Haiti, we have Dili ak sauce pois rouge. In New Orleans, we have red beans and rice. Join me next week where I will teach you how to make one of the 5 classic sauces, the tomato sauce. Post your comments and questions below, and I will see you next time. À la prochaine.